Not my video, but enjoy it.
Get ready for the ultimate run for fun, the 54th Sturgis Rally and Races.
Somewhere in America's heartland, where the Lakota and bison roam side by side, you'll find the backbone of a nation, a community of farmers, ranchers, and miners who live among the sacred Black Hills of Sturgis, South Dakota. The sleepy little town, once each year, transforms into a new nation, one that leaves a lasting impression, a nation of two-wheeled warriors.
I've been in and out of Sturgis most of my life, from about 200 miles down the road here all the way to the other side of the Black Hills. It's an amazing area. You come here in the wintertime on a cold winter day, few people on the sidewalks, mostly ranchers and farmers. That's what happens around here most of the year. Service area for ranchers and farmers. But right outside town here is a place called a sacred altar called Bear Butte. Sacred altar of the Lakota and Cheyenne, who really, by treaty rights, still own this area. And when we think of them, we think of horses and riding free and riding fast and being able to roam and go where you want and do what you want when you want to. Well, that's what happens here for 1 week.
A lot of people don't realize that the same county that the motorcycle rally takes place in is the largest county in the United States geographically. It goes out here for 150 miles this direction, 150 this direction. It's huge. And yet in that entire geographic area, there's only 20,000 residents. So it's a giant county with few people, and you can go a long way and all you see is sheep and cattle and horses and a lot of nice ranches, a lot of beautiful grass fields. And matter of fact, that beautiful prairie, as many people have seen, most of the prairie shot in the Dances with Wolves movie with Kevin Costner.
I like living here year-round. This is God's country. That's what brings us all here to begin with. The rally is a small part of living here.
The only thing about the rally, it does inconvenience the local people in that it's difficult and very difficult to get around with a car. If you got a two-wheel vehicle, it's great. Basically, the people around here are miners, farmers and ranchers, and it's difficult for them. It is very, very difficult because of being able to get around.
Business people love it. Business people love it. Private residents think, oh, this is a little bit much, you know, that's kind of overwhelming, I think. But basically, it gets a pretty good reception.
If you come to Sturgis, you may see me in the courthouse if you get carried away a little bit. But one of the things we found out over the years is that the vast majority of the bikers that come here are nice people. They're good people. I equate it to college kids. College kids don't own any property. They go somewhere and party. They tear the town up. Bikers, you've got a $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 motorcycle. That's not your primary mode of transportation. You end up owning something. You respect other people's property because you own property. And I think that has a lot to do with the attitude that bikers have that come here.
During the rally, a lot of the businesses will take out their windows, and we'll see a lot of shops in there that normally are not there. We keep our windows in. We don't rent out because we have a lot of merchandise that our local customers need, as well as the people coming in during the bike rally. You're going to look down the main street here and you're going to see entirely different town than what you'll see the rest of the time.
Getting ready for Rally Week is no easy chore. Most of the local businesses lease their shops to the rally vendors, who in turn provide jobs for the business owners, their families, and employees. It's an exciting time when everyone works hard to prepare the tiny town for the massive motorcycle migration. Fragile shop windows are removed and replaced with sturdy vendor displays. Stores are completely gutted out and restocked with wall-to-wall leathers, tees, custom jewelry, rally memorabilia, and you name it.
The rally has a major impact on our business. It takes the entire summer for us to get it organized as far as what we're going to do, get the food ordered, get the people hired and trained. Normally during the course of the year, we'll order 5 to 10 cases of hash browns 3 times a week. During the week of the rally, we'll probably get in 50 to 75 cases to get us through the first couple of days. And it's the same with everything. It's the same with ground beef, the same with steaks, the same with French fries, And the same with eggs, where we might have 1 or 2 cases of bacon on hand most of the time and order 3 times a week. We'll probably have 20 or 25 cases on hand just to get us through the first 2 or 3 days.
The town is finally ready for the onslaught of steel stallions. Now all they can do is wait.
My name is Pearl Hoyle. I am the wife of the late J.C. Pappy Hoyle, who is the founder of the Black Hills Classic. In 1938, they decided that maybe it would be a good thing to have some races for the public here in Sturgis. So they went down on Main Street, talked to the people down, the business people down there, and they thought, yes, that would be a good idea. So in 1938, we had our first rally. We had about 200 in our backyard. We had a big tent, and they came in the night before. Instead of telling fish stories, they told motorcycle stories. The next morning, we took them on a tour to Mount Rushmore. The wife of one of the Jack Pine gypsies and I fixed the lunch for them. And we'd go down on Main Street, count noses, so we'd be sure that we had enough for them. And then we'd beat them down to the Custer Park. And there we'd set up lunch for them. And they got all they could eat for 65 cents. That's a far cry from today. I can't tell you exactly why this mushroomed like it has, only that the riders that came were able to all be together down on Main Street.
With its roots reaching back to the very first rally, the racing action is still the cornerstone of the Black Hills Classic. From the Jack Pine Gypsies Fairgrounds to the Sturgis Drag Strip, Sturgis offers some of the best flat track TT hill climbing and drag racing on planet Earth. Had a chance to twist the wick, but when it was time for some serious action, it was out to the drag strip with the big dogs. A new national pro fuel record was set for the 8th mile during qualifying this year by Johnny Vickers. But for the big win, it finally came to a face-off between Mike Romine from Sturgis, Michigan, and Bill Furr from Orangeburg, South Carolina. And Mike Romine was this year's top fuel winner. Way to go, Mike.
Well, I first started coming out here racing when they built a new track, and I believe that was '88. And we've been coming out here every year since. Just having fun. This year everything clicked.
One of the original attractions to Sturgis is its endless touring possibilities. When you're talking about the Black Hills, Badlands, and beyond, there's a lot of sights to take in on just a day's ride. And who can go to Sturgis without taking a putt out to the crown jewel of South Dakota, Mount Rushmore? After a long day's ride, there's nothing like numbing the old iron butt with a good stiff shot. And around Sturgis, they're never on short supply. One of the more recent traditions was born at the Dungeon Bar on Main Street. It's called Bobbin' for Beers, and you better be mighty thirsty if you want to compete.
God damn!
What state? Wisconsin.
When the watering holes dry up for the night, things are just getting warmed up back at camp. Whether it's oil wrestling or rock and roll, there's a little something for everyone to keep going through the night. Come morning, the Buffalo Chip Campground had a new wake-up call. Habitat for Humanity. Brothers and sisters banded together to build a shelter for someone in need.
What we're building is the Habitat house for Sturgis, for a family in Sturgis. And we're building it right here on the Buffalo Chip Campground. And it's going to be a 3-bedroom house. And it's going to have the living room, the kitchen, and dining room. And it's just going to be a small but nice house for a needy family in Sturgis.
On the less sentimental side, Sturgis just wouldn't be Sturgis without all them fine bitches.
Look, honey, you're on camera.
Wait a minute now. Now that's more like it. Yeah, well, all that's looking mighty sweet. But when it comes to beauty, there's nothing finer than all those Milwaukee maidens. Rat's Old Bike Show was stronger than ever, featuring the creme de la creme of custom scooters. But no matter where you go in Sturgis, there's plenty of chrome beauties to feast your eyes on.
Yeah, they should have had Patty as well. You got first place yesterday.
Yes, I did. I was very fortunate. There's some awful pretty bikes there, too. Best of the show in trike class.
The Indian here is one of the original Indians that came out of J.C. Hoyle's motorcycle shop here in Sturgis. Bought it from his mechanic approximately 5 years ago, and my father helped me put it together. And next year I hope to be riding a canary yellow one here. It also came out of Hoyle's cycle shop.
We just completed a trip around the world on this bike, went through Europe and further through Asia, then Australia, and then we arrived to Los Angeles, drove up all the way to Canada and down to Sturgis, and here we are.
My husband in 1990 certainly thought that he was going to be here for the 50th, but he passed away on February '89, so he wasn't here.
But Pappy was here in spirit, and as long as bikers rally in the Black Hills, he always will be.
Now join Bros Club members and American veterans for the annual Run to the Wall Memorial.
The Run to the Wall means to me remembering the brothers who are lost and gone, and bringing remembrance to the people here in the United States that Vietnam is not over, that there are people still out there missing, and we need to find them.
On Memorial Day 1994, a group of committed riders from New Hampshire departed from Donnelly's Easyriders store in Northampton to pay homage to those who gave their lives in defense of liberty in Vietnam. paused to read the names of the brave soldiers that graced the wall and considered man's innate right to freedom that these men had died to preserve. Poignant mental images were conjured up of sons, husbands, and brothers who were destined to never return home. Young men who never had a chance to finish out their lives. Grief was a byword of the times. For some whose loved ones are still over there and whose fates remain unknown, the questions may never be answered. Friends and family continue to wait and to hope. Their watchful eyes.
For the last 6 years, AmJam Tattoo Expo has been one of the biggest events on the tattoo calendar. Located in Schenectady, which is upstate New York, the Tattoo Expo draws thousands of multicolored people all over the country for their 2-day show. The folks who dreamed up this event were looking for something different for bikers to do in the dead of winter in this frozen part of the country. Now AmJam is one of the top shows in the U.S. There were more than 100 artists and vendors in attendance. With some of the best tattooists in the business, you can bet there was some exotic work going down. The constant drilling of ink and irons didn't stop the whole weekend. Some of these folks are pretty hardcore. There was major competition at the tattoo contest. It took half the day for the judges, all tattooists, to evaluate all the categories. Every style of work was displayed, from the modern to the traditional.
Now turn around and face the audience.
Today, tattoos are being recognized as fine art, and the tattooists are finally getting the credit they deserve. Enthusiasts collect tattoo artist work just like any other art form. This show is especially noted for the high caliber of the artists on hand, as well as the fine tattoos in the contest. If you find yourself freezing your butt off in this part of the country next January, cruise on up to Schenectady and warm up to some hot tattoos at Tattoo Expo.
Let's chew on some dust at the Easyriders Grand National Rodeo.
We're in Lancaster, California for the Easyriders Grand Nationals. Things were shaking and snapping as we got ready for the pulling, spinning, and rolling on this gorgeous October afternoon. On Saturday night, the action was hot for the prelims. This is where all the adversaries sorted it out, ringing out their machines and seeing what their rival competitors were up to. defending champ Gary Friel from Ames, Iowa would need all the help he could muster from his orange-clad crew. He goes into the finals with a 2,000-point lead.
It might sound like a lot, but that can get shaved down real quick, can't it?
Oh, that can go away in a hurry. Just like in the fuel bike and the gas trike, that's 1,400 points right there. With 1,400 points there, and another win like in the slow race that he's really competitive, there's 1,600 points. Top money for the day is 400 bonus, so 3 events, he could have 2,000 points right there.
Looks like it could come down to the weenie bite again.
Well, let's hope it don't get that late in the day, but yeah, it could come down to that.
Here's the second place man, Bob Santee.
Oh, it's going to be a good show. Yeah. You know, I qualified first in, I think, 5 events or something, 4 or 5 events yesterday, so I hope I can pull that one off again today.
You're down 2,000 points coming in. Is that more than you can handle, or can you take that?
Well, we're going to find out here shortly.
We're in the pits with David Bansel, better known to everybody as Part, from Shelbina, Missouri. Okay, right now you start in 3rd place, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm trying to get 2nd today. First is kind of far out there, but I'm right on Bob's heels, and maybe we can get there. I got some new toys this year from sponsors. And
Don Siebold from Greenville?
I'm from Greenville.
Where are you standing as we get going today?
Well, I'm going to try and bump up into 3rd place, but I don't think I can do it. I'm in 4th, but I'm going to try and get up into 3rd.
Keep the throttle open.
Yeah. Try to.
We probably had the most stiffest competition we've ever had this year. We've had as high as 18 fuel trikes at one rodeo this year.
The traditional parade of competitors, led by Al and Luann Bowling on Rodeo Monster Trike Big Toe, snake its way through the Antelope Valley Fairgrounds and out into the arena for the playing of our national anthem before a packed house. And everyone clears the field as the rodeo begins. The competition kicked off with Melanie Vansel matched against Bob Santee in the first heat of the day. And Bob takes it. They were followed by Terry Miller versus Audra Pittman. And Audra was the winner in this one.
Felt real good. Great, we're gonna do it one more time.
Got some power, huh?
Yeah, it's running great today.
The gals held their own, but Santee took his first event of the day, earning 700 points and dollars. Opens up the day with a blow.
Yep, it's working.
How many points did you pick up?
700 right here.
What's that narrow it down to?
I don't know. It's a lot closer.
Next event was a slow race. They all put in a valiant effort, doing the delicate balancing act that this difficult event requires. Bart Vansel and Glenn Hearns both did well. And Jerry Searles of Anaheim, California showed off his excellent form. But in the end, Bob Santee is the winner for a double whammy. The Keg Derby was a tight race between Gary Friel, Jeff Kyle, and Parts Vansel, with Gary coming out the victor. The ever-popular tire ride gave new meaning to bouncing along. Kenny and Lori gave the crowd quite a show. Chased her down!
Hey, got to. She made me run faster. Long legs don't have nothing against her.
But in the end, Audra's competitive spirit gave Gary the big win. Bob Santee gave an excellent performance in the barrel race. He really demonstrated to everyone that he knows how to pilot his machine through the twisty course. Gary Friel, who usually does great in this event, ran into a bit of bad luck. Hart showed the crowd how a pro wipes out with a wild ride. Gary gave a great ride on his second try, but it wasn't enough, as Santee pulls a first. The pressure mounted when Gary's sled puller died on the line, narrowing his lead again. This opened the door for Bill Van Dyke, Don Siebold, and Bob Santee. Santee wins the first heat against Michigan mobster Siebold, but starts to blow oil. In his second try, his sled has more problems. Don wins and gains himself 700 points. Alfalfa, fresh cut from this well-known hay farming area, hid the potatoes from the prying bunch of spud seekers. The officials hit the spuds pretty good, but Melanie Vansel would not be denied. What are you eating for dinner?
Potatoes.
And
hot dogs.
Meat taters?
Yeah, meat taters. You got it. The winning taters.
Lori Gunya, riding behind Terry Miller, took down more dog than did Melanie to capture the weenie bite in a stiff contest. Unlike last year when the final event decided it all, Gary Friel, with earlier wins in the tire ride and keg derby, as well as spectacular performances in other events, had sealed his victory. 2,000 back, you got it pretty close.
Not quite enough.
You'll be back?
Yep, I made him work for it. He's a hell of a competitor, what can I say?
Been chasing these two all summer, but last year too. Missed one rodeo and had a few mistakes on my own, but I got them next year.
Come back to back.
Feels great. We got a lot of people to thank out there, all our sponsors, our pit crew. I mean, look at the orange pit crew this weekend. We came in style. We've got so much camaraderie going around in the pits this year. It is incredible. I mean, everybody was great in the pits all year long. And hey, heck of a season, and it's done and over, and we were able to go home back-to-back this time, like you said. Great.
There you have it. Gary Friel wins an incredible back-to-back victory, ending the 1993 Easyriders rodeo season.